Listen, Stays. There is a tremor. A tremor shaking the very foundations of the most elite world. It's not an earthquake. It's not a political revolution. It's an idol. Do you feel it lately? The luxury fashion world seems to be in the grip of a fever, and that fever has a name. Lee Felix. If you thought Felix's achievements last year were legendary, prepare to be amazed once more, because this man is no longer just an ambassador. He is a phenomenon, a global magnet, making the most exclusive and picky brands compete, vie, and fall in love with him. From the Paris runways to the billboards in Gangnam, everyone is asking one thing. What is Felix's secret? But this isn't a story about how many titles he holds. This is a story about dominance, about how a main dancer with a sunshine smile and a god-tier bass voice walked so naturally into the global fashion inner circle and immediately took the throne. Curious? Trust me, this is more dramatic than the season finale of your favorite K-drama. So stay tuned as we unpack it all. Let's rewind a little. If we flash back to 2-3 years ago, Felix was already showing his aura. But back then, some might have said, he just got one brand, that's okay. Don't be mistaken. Felix is like the protagonist in a story slowly gathering his power. Every endorsement, every appearance at a fashion event was a quest to level up. And then, boom! Last year, the world was stunned. The announcement of Felix as the global ambassador for Yves Saint Laurent wasn't just news, it was a statement, a powerful declaration that said, Lee Felix has arrived. YSL, a brand with an edgy, rock and roll, and supremely confident vibe, chose Felix, and for good reason. Look at him in his photo shoots. He merges with the YSL aesthetic as if he created it himself. His sharp gaze, his poised posture, and his incredibly natural modeling skills left netizens in awe. The Twitter X timeline back then was filled with screams of, "He's born for this," and "Visual king, I bow down." But did Felix stop there? Oh, absolutely not. That was just level 1. This is the part that gives you chills. After YSL became his home base, what happened next was like the most glamorous domino effect in K-pop history. The fashion world seemed to clamor, saying, "We want Felix too." First, there was Bvlgari, the luxury jewelry brand synonymous with top-tier Hollywood celebrities. Who did they choose to carry their serpentine motifs and diamonds? Lee Felix, and he wore them not just as jewelry, but as an extension of himself. Cool, luxurious, yet with a warmth still present. Fans went crazy saying, "Our Australian prince is literally a jewel box." But was that enough? Not quite. Let's talk about Calvin Klein, a global pop culture icon. CK campaigns are always about attitude, about raw and effortless confidence. And guess who suddenly graced their billboards and social media campaigns? Yes, Felix. His minimalist yet powerful photos immediately broke the internet. The mood instantly skyrockets when your bias represents CK. Yet did Felix stop there? Oh, absolutely not. This is the part that gives you chills. After YSL became his home base, what happened next was like the most glamorous domino effect in K-pop history. The fashion world seemed to clamor, saying, "We want Felix too." Now for the million-dollar question. Why Felix? In a sea of handsome and talented idols, why has Felix become fashion's darling? Let's break it down. First, killer duality. This is the key. Felix possesses an extremely powerful duality. On one side, he is Sunshine Felix, his bright smile, his adorable and bubbly personality, his aegyo that could melt polar ice. But on the other hand, there is Baddie Felix, aka Lee Felix. His haunting bass voice, his intense and piercing gaze, his dominant and charismatic stage presence. The fashion world loves this contrast. He can effortlessly carry the edgy vibe of Yves Saint Laurent, then switch to embody the warmth of Calvin Klein or the elegance of Fendi. He is as versatile as a chameleon, yet always leaves a strong Lee Felix identity. That is a rare skill. Second, a naturally high fashion visual. Look at his facial structure. Sharp cheekbones, a strong jawline, expressive eyes. His face is like a perfect canvas for top makeup artists and photographers. Every angle is photogenic, every expression tells a story. He looks natural in any concept, no matter how extreme. This is the type of visual the fashion houses seek, someone who can be a muse, not just a model. Third, an actually authentic and relatable personality. This is what makes brands fall in love. Behind all the glamour, Felix is known to be incredibly humble, hardworking, and sincere. When he promotes a brand, it doesn't feel forced. He wears it with his own unique streetwear style, blending it with his personal flair. Young audiences, especially Gen Z who are savvy about what's fake, can sense his authenticity. He isn't a cold mannequin. He is a fashion icon you could hang out with, a huge plus point. And fourth, the immense power of the stay fan.
So where does this leave Felix now? He is already at the summit. But given his track record, we all know, Lee Felix never stops surprising us. Netizen speculation is rampant. Will he become a front-row face at a major Paris Fashion Week show? Could there be a capsule collaboration bearing his name? Or will other brands like Chanel, Dior, or Hermès be tempted to claim him? The possibilities are endless. What is certain is that Felix's dominance in fashion is paving a wider path not just for himself, but for K-pop as a whole. He proves that an idol isn't just an endorser, but can become a globally recognized tastemaker and icon. He is breaking down the walls between pop music and haute couture fashion. For Felix, this may be an incredible new chapter, but for us as fans and pop culture enthusiasts, this is an era where we witness a star not only lighting up the stage, but also reigning over runways and the hearts of famed designers. So, stay and fashion lovers, what are your thoughts? Do you also feel the Felix effect? Which brand do you think suits his vibe the most? Or is there another dream brand you'd like to see Felix collaborate with? Write in the comments section below. Let's discuss. Don't forget, Felix's journey is still long, and we all have front-row tickets to witness it. Hit that like button if you agree Felix is the fashion king of this generation. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on other exciting analyses about the K-pop and fashion worlds. Because one thing is sure, the dominance of Felix continues. See you in the next video. Felix's fashion dominance extends far beyond a personal achievement or a simple list of brand deals. It creates a powerful ripple effect that touches various aspects of the industry, fan culture, and the very perception of K-pop idols on the global stage. This is where his story transcends individual success and becomes a case study in modern cultural influence. Firstly, consider the impact on brand strategy itself. Luxury houses have historically been cautious, often prioritizing established Hollywood A-listers or supermodels with decades of pedigree. Felix's undeniable success with multiple, simultaneous major partnerships signals a paradigm shift. He represents a new archetype for a brand ambassador, one whose influence is digital native, deeply engaged with a global community, and built on a multifaceted talent foundation beyond just modeling. Brands are now looking at idols not merely as channels to reach a demographic, but as co-creators of brand image and narrative. Felix, with his authentic integration of high fashion into his personal style, demonstrates a level of credibility that resonates more deeply than a traditional, distanced endorsement. He is living the brand, not just wearing it, and in doing so, he redefines the ambassador role for the digital age. Secondly, the Felix effect significantly elevates the status of his group, Stray Kids, and, by extension, the broader K-pop industry. Every major campaign photo shoot, every front-row appearance at a Fashion Week event, and every viral fashion moment generates immense media value that reflects back on the group. It positions Stray Kids not just as musical artists, but as style icons and cultural tastemakers operating at the highest echelons of global pop culture. It breaks down outdated hierarchies and proves that idols from the K-pop system can command the same level of respect and desirability in the luxury world as any other international celebrity. It paves the way for other idols, showing that the pathway to high fashion is attainable with the right combination of talent, visual identity, and fan power. For fans, particularly Stay, this journey is a unique and participatory experience. Supporting Felix in fashion is not a passive act. It involves analyzing campaign aesthetics, celebrating his visual transformations, and engaging in a shared appreciation for the artistry involved. This creates a deeper layer of connection with the idol. Fans become curators and critics, participating in the fashion discourse surrounding him. The sellout power of items he promotes is a tangible, collective show of support that directly contributes to his measurable success in the eyes of brands, creating a powerful feedback loop of validation and achievement. It transforms fandom from simply consuming music to being part of a wider cultural movement. However, with such immense visibility and status comes a new set of expectations and a heightened spotlight. Every public appearance, airport fashion moment, and casual outfit is now scrutinized through a fashion lens. The pressure to consistently embody the elegance and innovation expected by these luxury houses is a significant undertaking. Yet Felix has so far navigated this with remarkable grace. He manages to balance the polished, high-fashion image with his approachable and warm offstage persona, never letting one completely overshadow the other. This balance is crucial. It ensures his relatability remains intact, preventing his image from becoming unattainably distant. His ability to maintain this equilibrium is perhaps one of his most underrated skills, ensuring his longevity in an industry known for its fickleness. Looking forward, the question is not if he will achieve more, but what form his next conquest will take. The natural progression points towards more immersive creative partnerships. Could we see Felix involved in the design process, consulting on a capsule collection that reflects his personal style, perhaps blending his Australian roots with Korean streetwear and high fashion sensibilities? The potential for a truly collaborative project is immense. Furthermore, his presence at major Fashion Week events is likely to evolve from esteemed guest to a central figure, perhaps even closing a show for one of his affiliated houses. Another fascinating avenue is his potential influence on menswear trends, moving beyond endorsement to actively shaping what is considered desirable and cool on a global scale. In essence, Felix is not just participating in the fashion world, he is actively reshaping its relationship with a new generation of global icons. His journey demonstrates that in today's landscape, influence is holistic. It is the sum of talent, visual identity, authentic personality, and an empowered community. Felix's dominance continues because he excels in all these areas simultaneously, creating a perfect storm that the fashion industry cannot and will not ignore. His story is still being written, and each new chapter seems to redefine the ceiling for what an idol can achieve beyond the music stage, solidifying his place not just as a K-pop star, but as a definitive fashion force of his generation.